Here we are at Moretown Elementary School in Moretown, Vermont. And we're going to check in with Brenda Hartshorn, kindergarten teacher, about her outdoor classroom. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, welcome to our Moretown Kindergarten outdoor learning space, which has been transformed from our eco space to now our outdoor learning space during pandemic 2020. So excited you're here.
Can you give us a tour of the space?
So we had a parent volunteer group come on Sunday, and some of these things are already here, but they shored them up for us. So
I recognize this.
Kitchen that Amy Coyote Butler built for us out of pallets a few years back.
I remember we used a battery-powered screw gun to do this.
You did, that's right.
With the students.
And
it looks much better now.
There was a restaurant going out of business, and I was able to get some things real cheap. But if you put an email out to parents and family members for metal pots and pans and utensils, I think you might get quite a few.
Right, what do we have over here?
So I have my wood pile. We have our wood pile here. People have donated wood. We still have dry wood here.
Great.
And I keep a bucket of kindling, birch bark actually right now, so the kids will make their bundles. I keep that under so it stays nice and dry.
Nice.
And then I have some loose parts that I take this cover off, and the kids have all of these loose parts to work with. We got some wood cookies for drilling.
Oh, so fun. I love these loose parts. Look at that.
I know. Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
From a cutting board maker.
All right.
So we also have a storage unit.
Yep.
That I just needed a few years back to put things in that I don't want to carry up all the time, like hand saws, peelers, bit and braces.
Yep. So this is good. Do you remember the brand of it and where you got it? Because this has been a big question for teachers, is about storage.
This is a Rubbermaid, and I would not suggest that you get it.
Okay. Why?
Because when I open it up, this comes off still. I had a parent try to rig it on Sunday. They had to use drills and screws because a bear, actually, we're pretty sure it was a bear, turned this whole thing around. I had no bird seed or anything in there, but I did find mouse evidence, and it had been turned around, and this whole side had been taken off, and everything was taken out of it. Sure. I had stored in waterproof tubs.
Okay.
So they didn't open the waterproof tubs, but this was, and it's just been a cumbersome thing. So what I would do is ask if anybody has one they're not using, a wood shed that has a couple of doors.
Sure, yeah.
A metal shed. Or look for something that's more durable. You would think,
that's bear proof.
Well, you may not always be bear proof. I do have a lock on it.
The lock's for the bear.
Valuables in here. But
do you think a bear can do
that? the lock was still locked. So
so it doesn't really
still
matter.
attached. Yeah, the whole thing was still
all right. Well, note to be taken of what is a good outdoor storage, because I know it's been a really popular question. All right, tell us about this space.
Our fire circle with 16 stumps. We have 14 children coming and two adults. Actually, I may have 17. I'm not sure, because we'll have our eco teacher. This has been our fire circle for a few years. But you'll notice we now have a tarp over it. So
I like it.
Stay dry while we're cooking or keeping warm.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we'll be eating our lunch. It's also where we'll do our storytelling.
Yep. And so this is is this a mask-free circle, would you say?
It is a mask-free circle. We weren't able to do 6 feet, but
right.
we were able to do 4 feet.
Right, and the state is saying 3, right?
True, but the school is still
saying 6.
So
okay.
We may have to pull them out. We'll see. But if you pull them out too much, kids aren't going to be able to hear each other.
Right, yep.
Because from here to there is a pretty long...
Yeah. And how many students do you have at a time?
So I only have 9 at a time, but I think that I'll be marking each one with a permanent marker, so that's their seat.
Sure, okay.
That's what I'm thinking I have to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so they're always sitting on the same stump, okay.
Yeah, and then eventually you can move the stumps around so they have a different spot.
Right.
But the same stump.
Right, yep.
And we have our sawhorse here. for when
Oh,
we do
yeah.
teach them how to use the saws and the safety gloves. This becomes a favorite one a little later in the year, not just yet.
Right.
Slack line has been another favorite for kids.
Ooh, this looks great.
Usually the slack line, kids like to get on here more than one at a time, but now it'll be one at a time. They'll use their hand sanitizer before they get on.
Yep.
And when they get off. That's the way we'll be doing it with any kind of tools that they might.
Right. And the mud kitchen too, probably, right?
The mud kitchen, everybody will
Hand sanitizer before
Yep,
and after.
Yep. And I've got some ball games, like I found some birdies and badminton plastic ones that aren't too expensive. Kids will have their own racket, but the birdies and the balls that they share, they'll use hand sanitizer before we play games and then after. And I bought pool noodles so we can play tag games.
Awesome. Great. That has been also a really other popular solution.
Absolutely.
Pool noodles.
So when we were doing our work party, we noticed that these 3 trees, birch trees, were up, and 2 of them were not safe. And we thought this one was, but when a 200-pound guy stands on it and the top wiggles, we said, let's just take it down for now.
Yep. That's a great assessment of hazards when you're tying things up, is to really consider the health of the tree, so that either immediately or over time the tree doesn't break with that kind of tension on it.
Sure. Yep.
Hammocks too.
And we knew that kids weren't that strong, but we didn't want to take a chance.
Oh yeah, no.
So those trees that came down became a walkway.
Love it.
You know, we just, yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to take you to the outhouse.
Yay.
So this outhouse was donated to us a few years back from a family where they had a wedding in their backyard, and the fellow made this outhouse for the reception. And then he didn't need it anymore, so he donated it to us. And inside we have this very cool hassock system. I love it.
Oh yes. And this is the one that utilizes the plastic bag, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And you can use a regular plastic bag, but I like these plastic bags. So you can see there's a toilet seat here, and this actually goes like that. We take this out. We've got the toilet seat, and we've got a bag inside.
Yep.
I'm going to show you that it's a bucket system.
Right.
And I love the height for little kids. They don't wobble over.
Right. So instead of on a 5-gallon bucket, because
Right.
some of them are made on 5-gallon buckets, but
now
that
this
seems
is a
just
5-gallon bucket. Actually, I think it's probably a 4-gallon.
Yep.
I've never had to use a pail for anything, but I have this bag. They come like this.
Yeah, these things are really cool. I think as far as having to deal with waste like this. Can you show us if
I'm going to show you, but I have my rubber gloves in here.
Oh, right. You want to
So
go to
if I was really doing this, I would put my rubber gloves on after a kiddo has pooped. We use 1 bag per day.
Okay.
So everybody poops in the same bag unless there's an issue, okay?
Okay.
I got the hand sanitizer here.
Yep.
That we all have always used and will
Yep.
continue to use. So if I was doing this after a kiddo has eliminated, I'd have my gloves on. I take it out, roll it up, take my gloves off, put the
gloves in. Yep.
Ziploc it, and I carry it down.
Right.
And I do put it in the trash. People
Yep.
put dog poop in the trash. They put dirty diapers in the trash.
Yep.
So that's what I do.
Right. And those bags are really, I think that's what I really appreciate about this system and this kit that you have, is that grayish silver bag is really solid. It's like,
It really is.
yeah, there's nothing getting out. There's nothing getting in.
That. It is definitely solid. I will say, I don't know what that chemical is in there. I think it's to keep smell down. I'm not sure. Maybe it's to help I don't know. Sorry, I haven't looked that
The
up.
brand of that is Reliance, looks like.
It is Reliance.
Yep, Reliance. Okay.
Amazon, $59.99.
Okay.
They're out of stock right now.
Right.
But
Of course they are.
parents, I sent out a link. These are I think they're called duty bags.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other brands that you can use. And I say, if anybody wants to donate something to the kindergarten room, we could use these. And parents now supply them. I used to buy them myself until it was, costing me like, a box a week.
Right.
Parents lot of parents are happy to help in those kinds of ways. If
Yeah.
you can't come in and help out.
Sanitizing the surface of the toilet after it's used.
So I do. I sanitize
Right.
it. I bring up some paper towels. I sanitize. I
Yep.
put my gloves on in
Yep.
between use now.
Okay.
Which I didn't do before unless I needed to. Because
Right.
you know, we don't sanitize the toilet in between each.
No, we don't. No,
But
we
in
don't.
Pandemic 2020.
Yep, that's going to happen.
And the door handle. Kids
We,
might be
yes,
touching the door
exactly.
handle.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and they
Yep.
pull this.
This.
So
Yep.
these are
Spray that
places
down.
that, you know, it's just going to become part of the. It's like recycling. Back
Yep.
when we all had to start.
We're like, oh, we got to recycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, peel the labels off, which we don't have to do anymore. But it just became part of our routine.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It was the pain at first.
Yeah.
And then
Something teachers know how to do.
This is a slide
Mm-hmm.
that is not going to be used for human sledding. It's not
Oh.
that sturdy yet. We're going to use it for water play.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And marbles. I'm going to
What a
bring
great
out
idea.
marbles and balls. Now, eventually, we might be able to sturdy it up and see, but right now, I'm not feeling confident about knowing the kids at the beginning of the year.
Sure,
and
yep.
what they might, you know.
Well,
safety
and I think
first.
also because it's a non-porous surface, there's
Right.
that question around having to sanitize a plastic sled. But for
Right.
ball play, for water play, for all of
Right.
that, and it's the same routine as with the slack line and with the mud kitchen, sanitize your hands first.
Sanitize after.
Play,
I
yep.
have sanitizer all over the place, and even the bear will enjoy using it sometimes. Oh, those kindergartners have been up here.
Oh, this is new this year.
This is new. This is a little bit
This
of
is-
like an amphitheater that I'm calling it. It may be where I'm thinking we'll be able to do some outdoor foundation literacy lessons, small groups.
Do you want to walk down to the board, and then I'm going to come around here so we can get a full
And
feeling.
I don't know how it's going to work. You know, I don't know if I'm going to rig this up on an easel.
Right.
Some days, I don't know. I have another whiteboard someone donated that's better than this one.
But there's a good slope here.
There's a great slope.
So,
Nice place for kids to, you know, maybe
right?
lead Simon Says or something like that.
Yep.
So we have 2 teacher stumps for Mrs.
All
T and I.
right.
I was going to put some old sailfish sails up over and crisscross them, but then I thought, I don't want to make this space so, I don't know what the term is. I don't want to overdevelop this space. I
Sure.
want kids to understand they can be outside without all of these things.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yep.
in a pandemic, I need shelter
Right.
and protection from sun.
Yep.
And I didn't feel like I needed any of that here because I have 2 other places they can go.
Right.
for
You've got 2
sun.
other tarped shelter areas.
Yeah.
But like all the learning spaces that you have inside your classroom, it's nice to have options for this.
Absolutely.
You know what I see the kids doing in here?
What? Yeah, and absolutely because they
Jumping
can't
from
do-
stump to stump.
I'm so glad you brought that up because they can't move the ones around the fire circle or do that
Right.
around the ones on the fire circle. That's a no-no, right? We always keep that place sacred as if there's fire there, sacred and safe. But definitely that's
Yeah,
what they can
I think
do.
this is really fun to be able to play on these and
And
move.
a parent offered to dig the holes and stick them in, so they're really
No, they're
sturdy.
not wiggly at
gonna
all.
Roll too much, and if they do, they do, and we'll figure it out.
That's great.
Another wood pile from a couple years back. We'll use that up first, and I thought this could be another nice play. We have our climbing tree.
Yep.
They can only go as far as where we decide to put the bandana,
Yep.
and we'll do that together. And typically with kindergarten, at first the bandana goes here.
Yep.
And you can get in the you can climb the tree if you can get in the tree yourself. So some kids take, you know, they are like down here trying to get on the tree, right? And you remember a couple of
Yeah.
boys.
Oh, yeah.
And they got up there
Yeah.
eventually. It took
Yep.
a couple months, and it was huge for them. But if I had helped them get up there, they wouldn't have
Right.
learned how to do that. And I feel if you can get up there, then I'm feeling a little more confident you might be able to get down.
Yeah. And the diameter of all those branches are about the size of your wrist too, which is a really safe,
Right.
safe thickness and sturdiness.
We talk about not jumping on them
Yes.
because that just adds more stress to them. And we do check them every now and again, but you will notice that there are some sharp things sticking out
Yep.
that I need to be more mindful of and take off.
Yeah.
With my clippers or.
Yeah. And the
my
kids
husband
can
up
help
here
you
with
assess
his
that too.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And
Oh my gosh,
this becomes an amazing running path.
Yes.
Up. I don't let them run down it because
Yeah.
it's pine needles. It can get icy really
Yeah.
quickly.
Those pine needles can be slippery too.
Especially when wet.
Yeah, because they can run in the field.
Yes.
If they want to run, they can run in the fields.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they can run up all they want to, but we find other ways to get down.
Yep.
Walking, hands and knees, rolling, they can do.
Yep.
There was one time a group of kids decided to roll logs down, that I had some extras, and there were other kids coming up. So we decided human bowling was not terribly safe for anybody.
Right.
So we won't be doing human bowling. Oh, and you'll notice the yellow boundary.
I see the yellow boundary flags
the
are
yellow
up.
boundaries?
Yes.
The yellow fabric is our boundary area. I usually
one over
create
there.
that with kids. This year, I'm not going to create that with kids. I'm going to establish that with them so we can get right to
it.
the play, right to
Yep.
the focus lessons. Because essentially, I'm kind of controlling that anyway.
I think, you know what, Brenda, I really like that because I'm thinking that children need to come into school this year being held immediately.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
This whole thing is about boundaries.
Right.
6 feet, 3 feet, mask on, mask off, wash your hands, all these boundaries that we're already asking of the children. And by you setting up the boundaries already, you're like, the forest is safe.
Yep.
We've done the assessment. It's going to hold you. And I've set the boundaries for you. So
And
it doesn't
give
have
them
to
some
be.
freedom. You know, that
Yeah.
when you have the boundaries all established, they're not having to listen to me, walk around with
Yeah.
me, make that decision. I want them to get to have some freedom as well because a lot of them have been cooped up.
Yeah,
Now,
let's.
maybe not during the summer, but during our school days in the spring, there wasn't a lot of movement.
No.
So we come on down here. We have some hawthorn trees over here, and I do point that out to kids. We go and we look at
over there.
those, and
Yep.
we see those thorns that are on there, and we talk about that. But there are some really popular places to play in there.
There are.
So they learn to deal with that risk without it being a hazard.
Some nice loose parts there for fort building. Oh, I like the addition of this white pine tree that's come down. Look at the opportunities here.
This is where I'll put another yellow
Yep.
ribbon. This is as far as I let the kids go early on in the
Yeah,
year.
because they're going to want to get on that.
They are going to want to get on that, and we're going to stay away from that right now. And there's a lot of pine pitch still there. We're going to have to sort of
Yep.
talk about all that. But it's a great place to bring our saws and go to work when it dries out a little bit.
idea. Yeah, and when they need to be warm too, on those when the days that start to get cold and drizzly, that sawing is an amazing way to get kids to warm up.
Yep.
That upper body.
Now on our work day, you'll notice that they put this tarp up for me that I had made a couple years ago.
I remember that. Yep.
And it's and on our work day, a couple of kids came. And they saw it, and they said, "Is that a throwing target?" And I said, "Yes, sir, it's a throwing target." So I had bean bags for that, and each child has their own name on their own bean bag.
Oh,
I
great.
happen to have some. I'm sure parents would be happy to make rice bags or bean bags
Yep.
for each child. And we put it in a place where nobody's going to be walking behind it.
Yep.
Because you'll notice that the yellow boundary's back there. And I'm going to move the yellow ribbon so that this
Right
one
on
is
that
the new
tree.
boundary,
Yep,
but
great.
You can't go behind it because you could get whacked in the head with
Right.
a bean bag.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what? Another thing I love about this, and I know this was inspired by Juliet Robertson
Yes, it
and
was. I
Creative
forgot
Start
about that.
Teaching,
That's
right?
right,
Because
it
she,
was.
when in the math workshop that
That's
she did with us,
Yes.
she pulled that out of her little Mary Poppins suitcase.
Good.
What I love about this is that this can happen. It doesn't have to happen in a forest.
No.
It can just happen on the school ground between
in the
two
playground.
trees,
Sure.
or between two goalposts on a soccer goal.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can change what you're using. You could use a badminton racket with a birdie to try to
Yeah,
get
that's-
to one. You
that's
don't
great.
have to use beanbags.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's great. Thanks for reminding me. I forget sometimes where these ideas come from, but Juliet Robertson has been a huge inspiration for me, especially her book, Messy Maths.
Yeah.
Dirty Teaching is a great book, but I got so much more out of Messy Math. And to put a plug in for her, Creative Star Learning.
Oh,
She has a ton of resources. I was looking at it again last night. She has the Thinking Child freebies, and there are some fabulous lessons that you can send home for asynchronous, like name 10 things, it's outdoor learning, name 10 things you shouldn't eat.
outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine the answers you're going to get?
Activities right there that you
All
can
right.
just, like, one sentence questions
Okay.
that you can send out and kids can respond, and you can set it up anyway where then you can share kids' responses on Seesaw or not. It's another way for SEL, right? Social
Right.
emotional learning, but also getting the kids outside so that they might have to do a little bit of screen time, but
Right.
there's other learning.
But then the task is go outside.
Yeah. Or think about being outside. So,
Where are we going? We're going into the wilds.
well, this area is really
This is
sort of
great.
end.
Yes, this is a favorite
My husband
spot.
cut this tree down maybe 3 years ago, and he was gonna buck it all up and
Right.
move it out of the way. And he said, no.
No.
I can see kids now wanting to be down here, and this is a favorite spot for spot
is.
away from the adults. And
Well, this is a wild space. I mean, look at how much it has changed, right? Just where you're standing right now.
yeah,
And the plants and the understory of these like kind of wild cherries and
Right.
the smart weeds and things like that. I'm just kind of spanning back up the hill towards the classroom up there where the fire circle is and the amphitheater and that slide. You can see the slide there, but this is kind of the beyond within the outdoor classroom.
and when he heard that, then he decided to do this for us. Wait till Deer has been here not too long ago.
Oh boy.
But he decided to use his chainsaw
All right.
to make a chair,
Chair, there we
which is also
go.
a favorite sit spot.
Oh, and that reminds me of Christy.
Yes, that's right. Her chair that
Yes, in her
husband made.
classroom. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
yes,
that's
just-
great.
Just recently.
Yep.
And so that really is our space.
I just want to give people kind of an idea of this big old pasture pine that came down years ago, and what a great space for children to feel beyond and climb and kind of almost disappear behind these logs. They're not disappearing really, but right? I mean,
That's right. They think
they
are.
think they are. So
And ruffed grouse loves to come through here from
Yes.
preschool. One of the preschool base camps
Yeah.
comes through here, and the kids will hear ruffed grouse.
yep. Oh, thank you, Brenda.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us.
Did you get the big tent with the tables that a
I
parent
did.
made?
Yeah.
Those are just log
Yeah.
stumps, and you can screw them on, or you don't have to. So, thank you for
All
coming
right.
and visiting.
Thanks, Brenda. I'm so excited for you this year.
I'm so excited. I have been a roller coaster all summer,
Yeah.
and after Sunday, I found calm and peace.
Yeah, and then once the children are here,
Well, when 2 children came
right.
that I wasn't expecting, which was lovely,
Right.
I had tears in my eyes because I got to see what they immediately went to,
Yeah.
and I go, yeah, we're going to be fine.
Safe and healthy
We're gonna be
outdoors.
safe and healthy.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.